According to todayonline.com, Japanese man nearly dies of stroke, possibly caused by masturbating several times daily. These are always my favorite stories to report on and go over on this show. I don't think this is the third or fourth time we have spoken of a man, and they're always Asian too. That's the thing. They're always from that part of the world. But we have definitely spoken of people in the past who masturbated too much and died or came close to it. No pun intended. So according to todayonline.com, quoting a medical case study report, the Daily Mail reported that the 51-year-old suffered a stroke last year, moments after ejaculating.
It was just a stroke. Hey-o!
Man, two of those in like a minute. Man, you're on fire. UK's National Health Service said the stroke the man suffered could have been triggered by having sex, coughing, and even going to the toilet.
But can you do it at the same time? Coughing while having sex on the toilet?
Wouldn't that be like an auto blumpkin?
Yes.
It's
a whole new form.
Oh, man. I'm sure someone out there has done it. I'm sure. I mean, there's a market for everything.
There's probably a Sasha Grey clip out there, the exact same thing we're talking about.
She's a streamer. She's a chef. And she always shows up on my Facebook feed now, but it's because she's on Twitch streaming, like she's playing games. Like that's her thing now.
That's where the money's at.
And she's got, or like occasionally she'll go on Twitch and she'll just be cooking stuff, and like what she's cooking looks delicious, but it's just weird because I'm like, holy shit! I've watched you do things. I've heard you say things. I've watched you take things in places that I didn't think it was possible to take things.
But you know what? That's probably why you're watching her cooking.
Yeah, it's kind of hard though to jerk it to someone who's like cooking like pasta. I don't know. It's just not the same.
Well, it depends what kind of pasta.
The article goes on.
What kind does it for you?
I don't know. Like fusilli is pretty good pasta right there, I gotta say.
I mean, it's got to be like it's got to be an actual dish, right? Like it's got to be like chicken piccata, for example.
Oh, if I had some veal piccata, oh yeah, I'd nut on that.
Right on top.
Oh yeah,
that's where the sauce comes from.
That's how you get the little extra salt in the capers.
Look, I would, and again, no pun intended. I'd really shit myself if I had a stroke while I was on the toilet, while I was on the can, if I was dropping a deuce, and I had a stroke. I mean, I know that's like the urban legend of how Elvis died. But there's like the worst thing you could be doing is taking a shit and then having a medical emergency.
It's true. I mean, you try and call 911 to get rescued. You try and, spray the Febreze so they don't gag when they come in.
Trying to at least wipe.
Trying to wipe. Yep. Don't want to get none of that. Oh, you got it on your hand. Now you got, you're struggling over here, but you got to wash your hands. You slip, you crack your head. There's blood on the floor. God damn, this is the worst poop you ever had.
That looks like a murder scene. You're like, I didn't kill anybody. Just my O-ring.
Right? Cops come in, they assume you actually killed someone, they pull you away in cuffs instead. And you're like, no, I'm the one that called the medical emergency. Yeah, sure, son.
While half your face is drooping because you had a stroke.
He's slurring his words. He's drunk.
He's clearly on something.
Like I say, the article goes on and says the man was instantly struck down with agonizing, quote, thunderclap headaches after he climaxed and later began vomiting.
Yeah, that's probably not a good thing.
Would you consider that a stroke or a really good, you did a good job?
I think it's a good job, man.
It came so hard, I vomited.
It came out of both ends?
Exactly.
I mean, I've definitely had experiences in the past where, like, sometimes I'll walk away and I'll just cry because it was so bad. Or, like, things ended a little sooner than I would have liked.
I'm curious about that one. What do you mean ended like Like there was more in there, but you didn't have time.
Premature ejaculation. We got a squirter.
And then there's other times where
Like, it's not premature, man. When you're ready to go, you're ready to go. It's called being mature about it.
and then there's other times where I will walk away and be like, man, I could do anything right now. Like, feel like an anime character. I just want to jump in the air and punch the sky. So it depends. Yeah, I guess what? I got some audio here too. From the gentleman that this article refers to, who suffered a stroke, again, possibly caused by masturbating several times daily. Here we go.
Yo, ever heard of Jerkmate?
Wow, I thought that was going to be something different. God damn, these labels.
Who labeled these? What kind of jerk does that?
All right. Well, they gave me 2 pieces of audio, so let me try this one.
Yo, ever heard of Jerkmate?
Jack, have you ever heard of Jerkmate?
I guess I don't have audio from the guy. All right, listen. Fuck those ads, all right? I like, there will be times where I just want to, like, you know, I'm by myself, want to just rub one out real quick, and I think I'm, you know, in a spot where I have privacy, and then I will forget that the sound on my device is cranked
all the way up.
all the way up.
And that's why you get kicked off of the subway.
And then this shit happens.
Yo, ever heard of Jerkmate?
And I swear my neighbors can hear that. Because they, like, the people who do those ads, like, intentionally, that's not me, like, overmodulating. If you never heard those ads, they actually, like, intentionally overmodulate it. So if you just happen to have your sound cranked up, you're effectively calling attention to the fact that you're about to watch porn.
I mean, you got to own up to it at that point. You just got to finish up the whole thing full volume.
Yeah. So, anyway.
Yes, I am going to watch porn. It is okay. It's a natural part of my day. Thank you. Goodbye.
Hey, everybody. I'm about to masturbate.
Yo, ever heard of Jerkmate?
See, now if my neighbors are outside.
They're like, he's jerking off way too much right now.
Like, oh, wait, the studio monitors are down. They probably didn't hear that sound drop that followed. That's why I have no idea what's going on. Article goes on to say, concerned about his sudden symptoms, the man went to Nagoya City University Hospital, where checks by doctors found he had low blood pressure and was disoriented. 2 telltale signs of a stroke. I thought having the droopy face was the telltale sign.
Well, it is the telltale sign, but it's like you don't have to have every symptom to say. And there's other is like the classic stroke, and then there's like other options of different kinds of. Oh, this is because it was in your different part of your brain. It's a different kind of stroke, and it affects things differently. So I'm sure there's 18 variations of stroke. Like there's 18 variations of COVID.
I like the watermelon kind.
Watermelon.
While doctors treating the man did not offer an explanation as to why he may have suffered a stroke from masturbating, the NHS said brain bleeding could happen as a result of physical exertion, such as lifting something heavy or having sex.
I like how they start out like he could be lifting something heavy, just to kind of like start the options. It's like something decent. Like he could have been lifting something heavy, or he could have been masturbating.
Like a big old girl.
BBWs. You know how those Asian men like them.
Well, he's a big boy. He's the biggest boy. He's a big boy. He's the biggest boy. He's a big boy. Biggest boy. He's a big boy. He's the biggest boy.
So there you go. So if you are a chronic masturbator, just keep in mind, masturbating can kill you.
You should probably take low-dose aspirin before you masturbate. Or something like that. I don't know.
Or right after you masturbate. I don't know. Yeah.
Don't listen to my medical advice.
Listen,
I'm not a doctor, but I'll take a look.
Listen, I would hate to have suffer a medical emergency if I was on the toilet taking a dump. But if I suffered a medical emergency while jerking it, or even die while jerking it, then at least I would likely go out with a smile on my face.
Yeah, but you watch that weird shit, so sometimes I don't think you get a smile.
Yeah. We didn't. I don't know.
That's when the EMT guys come in. They look at your browser history and they're like, "Yeah, no."
I don't know if we got to this article a few weeks ago, but I think like we talked about it very briefly. But there was a local story about a man who was arrested for fucking horses. It actually happened around here.
That seems dangerous.
I do know that. I can't remember if we talked about it, but I definitely know that Sarah talked about it to me because she's like, "What the fuck is wrong with people?" I'm like, "Well, a lot."
Yeah, the guy was like actually going to a like a farm. Like he actually had like a hookup. He had a contact who would just like
he definitely had a hoof up.
Wow.
he had a contact who would provide him with animals, so the guy could fornicate with them. But it reminded me of Mr. Hands, which was like one of the OG.
The gerbil?
It was like one of the OG shock videos, shock websites, like right up there with Tub Girl and Lemon Party. Mr. Hands was the guy who actually died because he would get fucked by horses, and a horse actually killed him.
Yeah, horse cock ain't small.
Suffered from a perforated colon.
I thought he choked to death because it was too far up his ass.
Actually came out his mouth.
Yeah.
All right, so there.
Got a tickle in my throat.
All right, there you go. That is masturbation news.